Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello. How is everyone this fine morning? Whew. Lot going on. Let's see. All right, I got my drinks all settled. I don't know what you are all eating and drinking. Oh, the smoke has cleared, according to Judith. Well, thank goodness for that. Cheers, l'chaim, everyone. Hi, K Travel. K Travel and I are going to be seeing a musical performance by her granddaughter today. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot about it. I needed a reminder. Anyway, so I'm going to Uber it over there after the show. So that should be fun. Her granddaughter is a electric guitarist, and we jammed a little bit earlier. And I'm hoping. See, we gotta. What I think she needs. I think Kay is she needs my email, and you need my email so that I get the songs she's talking about, and then I can rehearse. And then one of us has to be the bass. I mean, one of us has to be percussion because I guess she would be percussion, right? Is she going to be? Anyway, then our band can get tight. So we have a name for our band. You guys want to hear the K and her granddaughter, and you want to hear the name of our band? Oh, you're the percussion. Okay, so I'm following you. Okay. Mother Maiden Crone. Mm-hmm. Kay is the mother because that is her granddaughter. And she is the maiden, and I am the wise crone / queen, depending upon who you speak to. Yeah. Isn't that cool? Yeah, so we came up with the name while we were jamming. Yeah, so I get to be the crone because the crone is associated with like the doc. She was the doctor of her community, and often did not have children. She was often not the mother. Oh, did you see my cookie ice cream? Somebody said that I was a good tarot. Well, no, they said I was a good remote viewer, or maybe they said I was a great remote viewer, or maybe they said I was a brilliant remote viewer, or maybe they said I was a mediocre remote viewer. I can't remember which. Anyway, they said basically you're a good remote viewer, but you're a lousy baker. Because they didn't like the picture I posted of the Toll House cookies because I put a filter on it. I put the old fashioned butterscotch filter on it to see what it would look like. I was trying to get like the 1950s look because everything had that butterscotch film. So I think it was the film he didn't like. But I mean, how can you screw up a Toll House cookie recipe? It's you use the egg. Excuse me, sorry. You use the egg, the butter, the brown sugar, the regular sugar, vanilla, the flour. What's a little baking soda new? What's so difficult? We've all done this recipe, no? You preheat the oven, you put it on a cookie sheet. But I think if you look at the picture of the Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip ice cream sandwich without the filter, on my comments section, you'll be able to see what the cookies really look like without the butterscotch film. Yeah, so obviously I was working last night, right? I mean, if it's a Saturday night and I'm cooking chocolate chip cookies, you would assume, okay, she's got some remote viewing. The stirring is the most difficult part, yeah. And being patient enough, if you put the butter in the microwave to soften it, stir it all, put it in the refrigerator for 20, 30 minutes. That can be the hardest part because kids get impatient. Is it done yet? Can we eat the cookie? Yeah. Is it still soft? I want to eat it now. And then you guys say, no, no, no. Kind of like, Donald Trump, right? You got to be firm. All right, let's do some remotes. Excuse me. Cough will go away once I dry out. Just got out of the shower. I would love it if you could like and subscribe. That would be awesome. The persons to direct your questions to, if I don't see your questions because I don't see the big question marks. Why am I defending my cooking abilities? Because I'm really getting into it. Oh, the butterscotch film. No, not sepia. Sepia is older. The butterscotch is from the excuse me, it's from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, like that 1940s. I'm Happy Homemaker from Good Housekeeping. Those newspapers had that. Yeah. Anyway, so we have a couple announcements. My name is Whimsy. I am a fake oracle. Do not take anything we say on this channel even remotely seriously. It is strictly for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, be kind to all so that all can be kind to you is also something we teach. We'd appreciate it if you would all be kind to one another. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around. Tell us who you are. Be sure and say hi to the person virtually next to you at this brunch table. We are here to be kind to each other. Please don't say rude things about political parties, etc. I'm sorry, it's so clear. Oh, you added cinnamon to your Toll House cookies? That's an interesting idea. I always put walnuts. Okay, so first announcement, the book of the month. We have a book club. Once a month, we discuss a book. I'm sorry, I'm coughing really bad. Maybe I'll take this off. Maybe that'll help. Excuse me. Okay. Let me try again. This month's reading book, Isabella's Starry Night. Isabel's Starry Night is our monthly book selection. We pick a book every month from one of our own members or subscribers. And so this month, if you'd like to be part of the book club, we we'll be reading Isabel's Starry Night. Excuse me. And on June 27th, Tuesday, during taco time, Tuesdays, we will be discussing in the book club how we feel about the book. So that is that announcement. For the month of July, we have selected another book. So if you'd like to join us in June, great. We have selected a book for July as well. Anyway, so so what was I going to say? Yes, so July, the books. No, I've had this cough for about 50 years. Particularly after I come out of a shower when my hair is wet. I always get a post-nasal drip afterwards. Okay, but it dries out. I shouldn't take a shower before I go online because this happens when the water starts to come down my throat. In the morning, I have no cough, and then when I shower, I get it. But yeah, I also have allergies. All right, so we have chosen a book for July. It's going to go away when my nose dries out. And the book, the book we have selected, back to I'm fine, thank you. The book we have selected for July is, drum roll, please. I've been very excited about this book. I had the opportunity to talk to the author about the book, and I was able to talk with her as she developed the book. So I was very, 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 very excited. Also, she's a local Oregon author. So I think she brings some of that beautiful energy of the Pacific Northwest into the wisdom of her exquisite writing. Man, am I excited about this. Stay Sober and Save the World, The Cave Woman Way. This is one of those books that I think is really going to potentially make it to the bestsellers. Here it is. Very impressive. It is our book selection for July. Ellen Archer. Ellen Archer is the author. And we look forward to reading your book, Ellen, for the month of July. We still have not decided a book for the month of August. If you'd like to participate, if you'd like to send your book in and have it be part of our book selection, you can send it to 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon 97201, and maybe your book will be selected for our monthly read. I also want to announce that this week we are honoring the start of fire season. Yes. Want to talk about it? Yes, unfortunately, fire season, as you all know, has started. It usually starts in late May, unless it has started. And so, as is our way, we have been asked to run the fundraiser again for forest management. And the AmericanForest.org organization participates in forest management and reforestation impacting North America, Mexico, the United States, and Canada. Of course, Canada, we all are concerned about what's going on currently in Canada. And so we're here to help. So if you find anything about today's broadcast even slightly entertaining, and you're not a church person, but you want to donate to something positive, think about donating to AmericanForest.org. For every dollar that you donate, that dollar goes not only to forest management, but I believe they're able to plant one sapling in your honor. So I always like to say, you've given birth to a tree with every dollar you donate. Even if it's painful, I'm sure Gaia appreciates it. Okay, I think those are all the announcements that I've got. And of course, if you've had a chance to turn around and say hi to the person next to you in the virtual brunch, see, it went away. I just needed to dry it out. If you could turn around and say hi to the person in the virtual brunch, tell us what you're eating at your table. How you doing? How's the weather? If you're in West Texas, we continue to tell you that we hope you're safe. In Texas, unfortunately, we're looking at more rain, and as that area changes its ecosystem. So, and there's another front coming in from the northwest. I see coming in. It's probably already been broadcast, but you can go and take a look. Hi, Constance Pleasance. Thank you for Fairies and Angels. Oh, that one that's coming in from, but it's so nice and sunny here. Oh, it hasn't gotten here yet. Oh, is it going to bypass us? Oh, maybe it will bypass us. If it hits Eastern Washington, I'm just following the trajectory energetically. That's interesting. Hi, Rose Blue, Spirit Beyond the Stars. Hello. Hi, TR. Thanks for being a member. Hi, Jiggy Pardo. Lord, thank you for being member. Hi, Claudia Veras. Great to see you here. Hope everything's great in Astoria, New York. Great part of the world. Yolanda Aranda, thank you for being a member. Hi, Andy. Oh, you're in Oregon too? Oh, which part? Pamela Doss is here. Joanna Carson, hello. Liz, hello. I'm going to keep saying hi to everybody as we go along. Joel Tilson is here to walk the virtual floor and make sure everyone's questions are seen and answered, as is Debbie Brady. Debbie is basically, I was thinking about it. I was thinking, Debbie's kind of like the producer of the show. Isn't she? She's we need to, she's kind of evolved into a floor producer, hasn't she? I'm thinking her and Joel. I was like, how can we turn this into a profession for them both? Because they do it very well. All right, as do all the moderators. All right, good to see everybody. Let's talk. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, everyone who has donated up to this point. If I haven't thanked you yet, hi, Steph. Thanks for being a member. All right, I know you guys want to get started, but the first 10, 15 minutes is always people just coming and going and us wishing people hello. Hi, Ginny Basagalopa. Hi, Geocosmic Valentine. Tupala Honey is here. Oh, Ron Paul. Yes, okay, I will. We will remind me again when we get to the blitzes, Tupelo. Paxson and Joy conspired to mail in ballots in Texas. Wow, what a great question, Joel. We'll take a look at it. I know that Homeland Security is investigating Texas, and I also know that Texas is under investigation for possible corruption when it comes to voting. Also, what happened in Harrison, there possibly, if not, I'm not mistaken, are some civil suits, which the problem is it goes to this Supreme Court, and where does that get us? You guys want to talk about that? You want that to be the first thing to discuss, is voting corruption and the fact that people are demanding an audit to see if Beto would have won had there not been obstruction in Harrison County. First off, do you think it's a legitimate complaint? Because we're looking now at both civil and criminal investigations. You guys want to talk about the Texas, and the AG is out. Some people believe that the real reason that the GOP got the Texas guy out is because they knew the feds were going to swoop in. People think that that's paranoia. People think that's BS. People think it's legit. Not too legit to quit. No, he was illegit and he had to quit, or they got rid of him. Ooh, Constance Pleasant is having unfried chicken drizzled with sour cream. Okay, Constance Pleasant, there are 436 people that will be showing up at your door. If any of you are preachers that want to say the prayer, Constance is serving. Amen. Serve it up. Yummy. Texas state governor raided by the feds. Yes, Joel, that's exactly what. Well, I don't even know if is it the Texas governor, or is it really that there's a federal audit? Isn't that really? I know there's civil suits out of Harrison County because Is it ACLU or is it who is this lawsuit coming from? Does anybody know? Anyway, the point is that I guess my question to you is if they had not blocked people from voting in Texas, do you think Beto would have been the governor of Texas? And I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm asking just purely objectively. Do you think that there's going to be a good audit? Do you think it's going to be a fair audit? And what do you think is going to be the result of the audit? Because I've heard things both ways, but I've heard legitimate people who do auditing say, no, they did it intentionally, and Beto won the popular vote, but the voters were blocked. I want to hear from people in Texas. Because I'm just a reader, but we did go into the remotes, and it did show that he had the momentum, and it might have been a nail biter, but if it's a nail biter and you throw out 2.5 million votes, then that's a problem. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and talk about some of the remote views. All right, the first remote views that I want to talk about is first off, let's talk about Mr. Trump. Let's discuss the remote views. Remote views are starting at 22 minutes. Yes. Mr. Trump, you did a very bad thing. You were naughty. You were naughty. You did a very bad thing. That is the first thing. So it looks like, yay, I got it right. Woohoo! I said 10 days. It was like 8 or 9. I think I was off by a day. Anyway, Mr. Trump, 536 years. He's facing 536 years. What it feels like to me is that to do what the government did, it takes a tremendous burden of proof. To go in and get a search warrant to retrieve documents that were taken per request by the archives, etc., after multiple times it was requested that he bring it back. It took quite a maneuver to get a search warrant. Would you agree? Now, this question is for lawyers. This question is for the lawyers. Based on what it looked like to me, the search warrant was limited. Part of the problem that Mueller had was he had problems with access. He had limited access, limited scope. He also was dealing with obstruction. And so this looks like the feds had they were limited in what they could legally take in the search. So I believe electronics were not part of the search. That's what this looks like to me as a remote viewer. So again, I could be wrong, but it's like they go in, their job is to retrieve the documents only after they didn't get everything. Then they got to go back in, and it's only to take the documents. Of course, if you document a crime while you're retrieving, etc., there's that. The second thing is that once he is indicted on Tuesday, this feels like it emboldens the feds, right? It emboldens the feds. And because it emboldens the feds, and because the original search warrant feels to have been limited in some capacity, and because they proved their point by finally having a grand jury, now they've got a grand jury backing them, and now this individual has been indicted, we're now looking at a very different type of search warrant. And so at that point, the feds now have enough evidence to do something which is really unprecedented, and that is to go in and begin a full seizure with far more rights and far less limited than the original search and seizure. As it appears to me, I'm not a lawyer, I don't understand the law, but this is how it appeared to me, as it was explained to me energetically as a professional empath. So then when I honed in further on the remote, I'll be specific here. What they're looking for is they need to know every type of correspondence that took place potentially from the time this individual had access to classified documents till the time he didn't. And so what the feds want you to do before this happens is they have requested that that sink in to the American people for a while. So what you can be expecting is that they will they'll go into all of the offices, and they're going to be looking specifically at laptops, all electronics, all phone records will be seized, tax documents, etc., everything. Because they now have unfettered access, this will be the second phase of the investigation. The other thing that we had talked about, and I wanted to mention also, is that he had been taking things from the entire time that he was in the White House. And so this investigation, and people had questioned unusual behavior with his treatment of classified documents. It had been documented from the moment he walked into the White House. And so there were investigations as soon as he went into the White House regarding questionable and odd behavior regarding how he was treating classified documents. According to Trump, according to the defense, this is how he's saying, Rudy Giuliani gets compromised. So you have all this Russian money that comes in after the collapse of the Soviet Union, and you have the Russian banks, and you have privatization because we now realize that socialism is bad. And so we're going to take all of Russia's money, all the money from the Soviet Union, and we're going to give it to our friends who have private companies because we now embrace American capitalism. And so that's what they did. They also opened up banks, and then they started giving all the money to the mafia and the mafia's friends. Well, you had Giuliani investigating mafia. So you have a compromised Giuliani out of New York FBI. And you have Trump working as a federal informant, taking happy little visits to the feds every time he has information that's going to take out one of his enemies, because that's what he and Giuliani would do. Anytime he was vengeful. And so he would get dirt on people. And then he had a friendly little arrangement with the feds, and they became his personal little serving agents. And that's not the job of the FBI, which is not to say that the people he had dirt on didn't do bad things. Like the guy that was it Spitzer, the guy that got accused of choking people? Was he the former AG of New York? The point is this. Trump had dirt on him. Trump had dirt on a lot of people, and Trump was skipping across the street to the feds and making life hell for them with his friends at the feds. So then what happens? Then you have people at the feds who are getting arrested for taking bribes for the 2016 election, which tells us what? It tells us that the New York FBI agency had it's been compromised. It's also where Trump was, seeking his revenge. It's also where Giuliani had a relationship. So we're looking at something that is starting to look a lot more horrifying in terms of our security, our national security, particularly when you look at the economic sector in New York, which is what they were actively involved in, which Russia was buying up people of interest in the economic sector. You can start to see how scary this is starting to look to the feds. Last thing I want to talk about has to do with concerns, and we can certainly blitz on this, about some of the violent rhetoric and threats that are coming out. We can open the floor about this. We'll do the empath prayer. We'll do a collective. But that has to do with, Trump supporters' violent rhetoric has reached a fever pitch. And this is something that the AG is not going to tolerate. And if Merrick Garland has to make a statement, and he will, if they have to call out troops, they will haul these people off, because it's only going to get worse when the next search warrants hit and the electronics start to get seized. So the Trump supporters, the sic 'em. So just like in January 6th, when he would do these calls for his supporters to behave in a violent way, it's enough, by the way, for them to drag him off. So you have Andy Briggs. He's the Republican out of Arizona. Out of Friday, he had put up a Twitter post saying an eye for an eye. Right. So these are people that are serving in Congress. You have Kim Guilfoyle. She's threatening retribution. Retribution is coming. Do people feel that we're looking at a national threat at this point? You guys want to talk about it? Oh, when do I think that they'll go in for the raids? It'll probably be after Tuesday. If it were me and I were federal officers, based on what they told me, as soon as the guy was in handcuffs or indicted, or as soon as he was processed, I would want to go in and seize electronics. I would be in front of the judges wanting full access, and I would say, look, we've got 37 counts, we've got a grand jury, and the guy has just been indicted. Will you let us take the stuff now? At which point, if that's enough proof, you should be seeing additional raids and them marching off with computers. Can you believe we lived through this? This to me is enough proof that it's all a matrix, right? Where's the missing mail-in ballots? That's another question. Okay, so I think we're ready to move on from the remotes. I think that's all I have for you. Oh, actually, no. I have a message from John Adams. Do you guys know John Adams? Founding father of the United States. It was a really interesting conversation about taxation, etc. So, a way to look at the situation right now, when you put yourself in a meditation about what has gone wrong with America, when you look at it from the perspective of the founding fathers and mothers, what I heard from John Adams, I sat in the space of the energy, something we teach in HCRV, to see if you feel a sense of wisdom or wise thoughts come to you. He said, unbridled power was what we feared. Unbridled power was what we feared. So I really think that is something we really have to think about. You know, we have the romantic version of the royal family and royalism and people in positions of power, whether it's the Shah or this particular sheik or whoever. We have these romantic ideas of people who have unbridled power. But what John Adams says in the meditation is a chilling reminder that the thing to fear from human beings, that is the thing to fear, is a human being who has unbridled power. He said, in terms of taxation, we started off very, very naive because we felt the tax burden was unjust on the working man, just as it is today. And so there were the equivalent of what today we would call libertarians. No more taxes, no more taxes. He said we were kind of naive. We were naive. That's it, no more taxes. Every guy can just pitch in. He said we were naive. We got it wrong. You have to pay taxes. It was about the injustice. What we were worried about is people with unbridled power, and we were frightened of basically unjust taxation, right? So an extreme response was people saying no taxes at all, but it wasn't about wanting to be rich. It was about what happened in Victorian England, for example, where 90% of your money went to rent and taxes and everything else. So that was the point that John Adams was making. So it's a warning to all of us that if we move towards privatization, and which is only making people richer and richer and richer, the money goes away from the institutions that strengthen the nation and go instead towards strengthening the corporations. And then the corporations become greater than the government. And the government, which is the representative of the people, is at the mercy of the corporation. And this is the inevitable direction of privatization. And that's what caused the collapse of Russia. Because when they collapsed their institutions after the fall of the Soviet Union and put it towards privatization, the criminals ran off with the money and all of their institutions suffered. And as a result, it collapsed in on itself because it wasn't fueled by a desire to form a more perfect union in Russia. The union had collapsed. And so people were lost and it was everybody out for themselves. And so that's a lesson to us. It's a lesson to Britain. Move away from royalism, move away from unfettered power. It's very dangerous. Nobody should have that much money ever. And fair taxation and rebuild your institutions, or you too will go the way of Russia, because corporations don't create unity and they don't strengthen countries. They don't strengthen a nation and they don't unite a nation. They divide. They drive down wages and they exploit workers and they behave in psychopathic manners. And so the very things that our institutions protected, when they went, the rights of the workers went, and the almighty dollar and the corporation became all powerful. And so it was the death of the Midwest. You know, everything was about making more money, send the work to China, etc. So that was basically the takeaway from John Adams. The thing you should fear is unbridled power. Great TV show. I think you can watch it on Amazon, Hulu. British show. It's called Harlots, based on historical fact of what the British aristocracy did to poor people when they had unfettered power. Hunting parties. A lot of people think that, what was his name? Jack the Ripper was probably an aristocrat. They also had weird religious cults where they would sacrifice people. They would just kill peasants, hunt them down and shoot them for fun, for sport. Yeah, it was really it's pretty sick. But if you want to be horrified by some of what happened, check out that's Downton Abbey isn't real. Harlots is far more accurate. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the empath's prayer and the collective. Sound good? Something to think about, right? Unfettered power is the problem. No one in the world should have that kind of power. What if they got a hold of a nuclear weapon? We all must have limited power as much as we want to be. I want to be free. Well, none of us can be free without rules. We all have to abide by certain rules. And that was what John Adams was saying. Okay. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. Let's do a collective reading. All right, where you are at right now. There was a lot of fears that the country was going towards an economic downturn. We went through a recession during COVID. Inflation, interest went up. A lot of people have started to lose their homes. Groceries went up. Now we are entering into a time of wealth. It's like everything is starting to open up for us this summer, which leads me to think whatever the blocks were, whatever the resistance was, whatever was preventing things from moving and having an impact on the economics in this country, it's being resolved. We have the summer card here this summer for people, and we have an economic relief card coming for the summer. Where we are at right now, many of us have major decisions to make regarding concerns about poverty. It can be our own, those we care about, the nation's poverty. But there's deep concern here about poverty. Exile. It can be spiritual poverty and physical poverty. Many of you have concerns also about your health. There's an issue here about taking more risk out of life, being more creative. This is something we've talked about and we teach on the planet. The purpose of life is to be happy, create heaven on earth, as long as it's not in conflict with the rights of others and the health of the planet. And better yet, if your dream actually helps the planet, makes the planet healthier. So I see a lot of you going into business with Gaia in some capacity. There's so many ways to go into business with Gaia. Anything from making clothing with organic textiles to art, basket weaving and clay, which comes from Gaia. But you have this past placement of Gaia as someone that you are cooperating or working with. Sometimes when I'm in my meditations, I think of Gaia as the mother we all wish we had had. She's wise, strong, tough, and she wants more than anything else for us to be happy and for us to fulfill our wildest dreams. And so have a conversation with her and see what comes up in the meditation about what draw on your inner wisdom of the Divine Mother, and see what comes up. But you can see here this mother energy, the earth energy. More people are planting. And instead of this being a time of, oh, terror and there won't be enough food, it's the opposite. People are learning how to grow microgreens. It's fun, it's inventive. And Gaia is rewarding people who do it. We're entering into the time of financial reward, not to exploit her, but she is a partner, and to have fun. Have fun growing that walnut tree. If you soak a dried walnut shells that you buy at the supermarket, they'll sprout. You get yourself a walnut tree. I'm sprouting some garlic right now. God's going to get some garlic. So have fun with the planet. So from a Hebrew perspective, again, it's called Tikkun Olam, the fixing of the world. So you are here to fix the world. So I'll give you a Hebrew word here. Tikkun Olam. Tikkun is to fix, Olam is the world. So the Kabbalistic idea is that the universe, the creators of the universe and this matrix wanted you to have fun. And so they created a universe and a world that was incomplete. And you chose to come here with the paint set in order to have fun and fix this incomplete art piece. And that is how Kabbalists explain this incarnation. It is not a punishment-based view of reality. You're not here to be punished. You're here to have fun with a paintbrush and go play. And unfortunately in life, there are jerks. There are bullies on the playground, like royalists. And they want to put a crown on their head and take all the toys for themselves. They're jerks. I mean, I know, look, I think King Charles is a very nice person, but as an American, looking at that absurdity, they all got those Caesar crowns on. You see, the women had like they were pledging allegiance to Caesar. It's like, I started laughing. I thought the whole thing was utterly absurd. And I can totally get where John Adams is coming from. None of that stuff is real. It's all just bullies on the playground. We're supposed to share, and we're not supposed to tear the planet apart. We're supposed to love her and plant the vegetables and have fun. And we're supposed to, what does Tommy want to be? Tommy wants to be a fireman, or Tommy wants to be a Broadway superstar. It doesn't matter. The point is, we're here to support him, her, they, and play and have fun and create heaven on earth, and then invite other people. Hey, come enjoy my heaven on earth and make the world a great place to hang out. So that is the consort. That is the relationship between Gaia. The sun comes out, the light bulb goes on, and comes wealth. The gift card comes. Also, it's business. Align your business, your career, your finances, etc. with me. I'll give you everything you want. Just don't abuse me. Love me, and I will take care of all of your needs. That is the promise. That is the commitment of Gaia. The relationship of the lover. She looks towards God. He looks towards her. Again, this is a fertility relationship because the earth is symbolized as feminine, right? And the sky is male. It drops the rain on the earth. Was considered like semen, and the earth was considered like the vulva, and it caused the babies to be born. And so that was the symbolism that was associated in the Lover's card of yes, the triangular mound. Yes. But it was this idea of the symbolism, the clouds, the rain was part of this sacred energy between yin and yang and giving birth, the rain. So it's not saying that this is a bad time. It's a time of people waking up and realizing that the earth is as abundant and as fun and as playful as we want it to be. And if people are raining on your parade, then go play in another sandbox, others in relationships. So the opposition collapses, the tower. This is something we're seeing globally. If you have attached yourself to a belief system that is destructive or not based on anything that is real, it will be destroyed. And that is what's happening now with Wagner and the Russian army, right? They were destructive. It was based on destructive teachings, what they were doing. So what's happening? They're now blowing each other up. And then the Nazis, right? The Nazis. No one likes Nazis. Zelensky doesn't like Nazis, right? We don't like Nazis. The Nazis got a bunch of tanks and now they're invading Russia. So Russia is busy being attacked by Russians and by Nazis. So they're all killing each other, right? And meanwhile, your job is to strengthen your own garden. That's all you're supposed to. Be beautiful in your garden. Have fun. Connect with your inner healthy mother. What do you want to do today, Bubala? My inner mama is a Jewish mama, right? Sometimes I have to bring in my Ruth Bader Ginsburg when I don't want to do my work. And then I try to have a rational conversation with myself. What do you want to do today, Whimsy? Well, I kind of want to eat some Haagen-Dazs ice cream. And then my inner mother will say, okay, well, how about we make a deal? How about we go for a hike? Let's commit ourselves to a really good, nutritious meal. I will talk it out with myself. And then, because nothing is more important than you being happy, that's why you came to this planet, is to know pure joy, right? And to share it with the world. Then let's go get some ice cream. It can be vegan. You don't have to hurt any animals if you're not. But that's the point. This is the relationship that they're talking about for your future. And it's one of abundance. And it's one of sun, the light bulb coming out. The other in relationship with you. The truth comes out. Archangel Michael with you. Hopes and fears, success in your endeavors. The final outcome for you. You have the power in your garden to manifest all your dreams. Stop being an impediment. Start listening to the truth of why you are here and get away from the punishment model. This is what they do in prisons. They take traumatized people who were abused in childhood and then became drug addicts to self-medicate themselves. Got all kinds of mental health. Of course, they've got social problems. They were raised in a war zone. Punishment is all they've known. Punishment and being kicked around and treated like a second-class citizen simply because they're homeless. Assume that they were put on this earth to be happy and to create heaven on earth. That's how you should be approaching everybody you meet in life. Final outcome, if you get it, everything you need, you will have. Anything you want, you will have. And help others realize it as well. You are here to be happy. All right, that is the collective. Oh, prairie seed balls. Oh, for restoration. Oh, that sounds lovely. Yes, there's this really cool guy. I think he's Brazilian, but he speaks with an American accent. He might be originally from Brazil. Anyway, he's got a gardening channel. Is it called Urban Gardener? Have you guys checked him out? He's also cute. I got a bit of a crush on him. Anyway, it's nice. I just sit there and watch the Urban Gardener, a Brazilian guy, and he's talking about pruning. I'm like, prunes, pruning. Yes, it's very inspirational because, I have a studio apartment in downtown Portland, and I'm planting. I'm planting, planting, planting. And you can save a little money, maybe buy some land. The problem is I don't drive, so I don't know what I would do out in the middle of nowhere with some land and no car. All right, so I guess when I get the order, I will blitz, blitz, blitz away. I am but a simple remote viewer, a humble remote viewer. I know not your ways. She's as sweet as Tupelo honey. I love that song. Thank you, Tupelo. So Ron Paul is one of those people that is going to have a real hard time with John Adams, right? Because he's all about getting it all for himself and giving nothing to anybody else, right? Let's see what the fate of Ron Paul. Named after Ayn Rand. They're saying he's leaving everything. He's going to leave the Senate. He's facing criminal charges. I don't know what he did. I don't think he was part of January 6th, was he? He's leaving the Senate. This is the federal card, by the way, the hidden queen. I think of the Fed as female, and I needed a card, so I chose the hidden queen. They often investigate hidden finance, hidden business. So I chose this as my Fed card. Anyway, he's got the feds in his opposition, and he's hoping and fearing for something, but his wish. But here's the thing: he's got one of the incarceration cards as his outcome. He's feeling squeezed. I thought he didn't participate with January 6th. I feel like he's the odd man out with January 6th, isn't he? Isn't he like too cool for school? But maybe I'm wrong. They're saying he could be incarcerated. He's going to jail, according to these cards. Was he part of January 6th? I don't know. Evidently, he's going to prison for something. He's got secret. Oh, really? Oh, so he's a spy too. Yeah. See, they get compromised and then they become accidental spies, right? Family secrets, leaving due to, look at that, gossiping within the family, secrets, negative aspects of the 10 of Pentacles, the legacy. Look at this. There's a raid from the feds. You guys want to see what a raid from the feds looks like in the cards? Yeah, I can do that next. Sure. That's a federal raid in the cards. Hi, Mark. Hopes and fears. Man, is look at that heartbreak. Whatever he wanted ran afoul of the feds, because this is what he wanted. It was a wish card. But look at that federal raid. Knight of Swords, I told you, is the federal raid card. A Queen of Pentacles is the feds. That's his opposition. His final outcome, 2 cards associated with incarceration and imprisonment are which? Those for the students of mystery school. 9 of Wands and 8 of Swords both show constriction of movement and could, it can sometimes be physical health constraints, but it can also be legal constraints. In the case of the 8 of Swords, it can be legal that you've run afoul of red tape or of the feds. In the case of 9 of Wands, you're defending yourself and you've run out of territory. So my conclusion, as clear as I can read that, and I think everybody else will come to the same conclusion because the cards are the cards, is that he is leaving the Senate and probably facing some kind of potential raid and incarceration by the feds. Everybody is. I mean, it's not like Trump's going to go off by himself. I mean, he had henchmen. Oh, God. It's just, I can't believe we live in this world. Okay, so Joel is asking this question, and I saw a couple of other people were asking these questions, so Joel has kind of put them all together. Let's go ahead and look at these people one by one. All right, Mike Lee. Who's Mike Lee? Oh, the Utah guy? Mike Lee. Really? Is he supporting them? Is he from Utah or Nevada? This guy is doing it. Honestly, regarding Trump, I would say he may be changing his opinion, Joel. He's confused. He doesn't know what to think. Look at this. He's got a 4 of Pentacles over him. Serious investigation. That's what we're doing, Mel. We're blitzing right now. Look at this. In the clouds. Hopes and fears the truth. The final outcome, Moon. This guy is out to lunch. Well, he's completely confused. Look at this. He fears the truth. And look at this. This guy is... Blitzery has commenced, yes. Oh, he's an inverted Queen of Wands. Stubborn, won't take no for an answer, but it doesn't matter what he thinks because the Justice Department is right over him. He's under... Good luck with that. There's some kind of evidence here. Look, but here, Sword of Truth is over him. But look, this guy is out to lunch. I think he may have mental health problems. The Moon card. Well, he's insane. I'm sorry, but the Moon card can be lunacy. Ted Cruz is another one where he's very easily manipulated. That's the thing I get with don't you? That Ted Cruz is easily manipulated. He is going to be subpoenaed regarding having received money for his election and faces incarceration for taking money from a questionable source. And that is what the investigation is over Ted Cruz. I'll be very specific here for you folks. He took money from a source which is under criminal investigation and then may have potentially lied. I'm going to be as specific as I can. He then lied to the feds about knowledge regarding where the money had come from. And because he lied to the feds or lied about knowledge regarding where the money, look, it's not that he received money. Say somebody gives him $100,000 to go to his campaign and he receives it, and okay, he gets money from his campaign. The problem here is, what if somebody like a Russian spy gives him $100,000? He has a meeting, takes the money anyway, and then lies to the feds and says, I had no idea what was going on. That's what this looks like. You have a desire for him to cooperate with a federal investigation regarding money he receives and help he received in acquiring his job as a senator. You want to have a conversation with us regarding that little job or that little bit of money that you received from those people? Because as far as we're concerned, his opposition, you're over, because the case moves forward. The hopes and fears, you got a little bit of jiggle jaggle going on there, buddy. Two of Pentacles, money going in and out of your accounts from questionable sources. Seven of Cups, you don't seem to be able to explain what's going on here. And as a result, we are tightening the screws to find out who gave you that money. I think that you lied to us. I think you know very well who gave us the money. And if you don't tell us who gave you the money, you're facing incarceration. I mean, I don't know. If dark money from foreign, I don't even know what to think, because, oh God, I'm so confused. If it's all part of one pot, why would it be legal? It's not his. Is it the candidate's response? Why is it the candidate's fault? Investigation could lead to prosecution. Are there any lawyers here? Because he lied to the feds about the money. He knew he was acquiring okay, so they're saying he knew he was acquiring favors from corrupted money sources. Jeez. Where are the lawyers today? We regular people don't. Okay, so that's what's going to happen to Ted Cruz. He has to cooperate with a federal investigation because there's a huge sweeping investigation into money that both parties are receiving. Like, for example, there was money that was linked back from China to certain Democratic. We don't want foreign money. I don't want the Chinese in the Democrat. I don't want foreign money, period. We want our country back, right? So, Two of Pentacles is the, look at this guy, completely in the clouds, facing incarceration over an investigation by the feds. Dang. So the takeaway is, don't lie to the feds. So Ron Johnson. None of these people, I mean, you guys can look at the cards. None of them are doing well, right? I mean, none of them are, they're not faring well with the Justice. Oh, God. They're not faring well with the Justice Department. Oh, geez. I mean, it's just, oh, gosh. Oh, ow. Ooh. We haven't even made it to the have we even gone to we haven't gone to the House of Representatives yet, have we? I mean, we haven't even made it out of the Senate, and it's looking like a freaking bloodbath. Hello, the Dancing Tulip. Welcome to Fairies and Angels. Welcome to all of our fairies and to our Tinkerbells and to all of our magical angel people. It's glad to have you here. So yes, I would say that Ron Johnson is in serious, serious trouble. Hello, Philaret. He's facing poverty. Look, this whole thing fell apart, and it fell apart fast. And you feel when you go into the energy that the Republicans hung around with each other. and told themselves a series of lies, and they believed it was all real. And now look, this is a poverty card, locked out of the church. Look at this guy. He's completely out to lunch. Hopes and fears. He's afraid that people are cooperating with the investigation. His fear that people are the people that flipped. That's his biggest fear. Oh my God, there's evidence against this guy too. Oh, the message from Ron Johnson is don't flip. He doesn't want to cooperate with the investigation, and he's concerned about people cooperating. Grief, locked out. Confused about the investigation and evidence from the opposition. The evidence card. The hopes and fears, cooperation. Hanging it up. Final outcome, they will be victorious. He will refuse to cooperate. He won't take a deal. So if he gets charged, he'll go straight to trial. He's not going to take any deals. Thank you, Anonymous, for that generous donation to American Forest. It's much appreciated. And you now have 20 tree babies. All right. The judge is a Federalist. Oh my God. I had the weirdest remote with Trump in it. I did a remote where I put myself in the shoes of being Donald Trump, and I was on the golf course, and I saw the two attorneys walking away and quitting, and I heard myself say, "Good, go ahead and quit. I didn't plan on paying you anyway." I just was like, oh my God. Good, go ahead and quit. I didn't plan on paying you anyway. That was the last thing I said while I was swinging my golf club, and they were walking off the field and saying that they quit. They no longer could represent me because I had been indicted. Okay. Well, no harm, no foul. You weren't going to get paid anyway. Okay. I just remote. What can we tell you? Okay, let's keep the ball going here. John Quincy Adams is your fifth cousin, Joel. That's very cool. Yeah, well, you know what I think? He is probably closest in his mindset to Bernie Sanders. In the sense that Bernie Sanders is concerned about unfettered power, that nobody should have $1 billion. And based on the energy that I connected with John Adams basically would quietly meditate on the idea of somebody having $1 billion, and would respectfully agree with Bernie Sanders that is a problem. This individual that I connected with felt like you should be a simple farmer. Everybody was equal. And if this experiment is really going to work, and that's what this is a mad experiment. We all have to play fair on the playing field. And that means that nobody gets to be a king. And so that unfettered power that these corporations are having is the very thing that John Adams feared. Yeah. Let's do a couple more, and then we'll call it a day and give the floor to the other readers. Let's see what we're doing here. Yeah, Lama Bryant. So in terms of Lama Bryant's question, did Trump strategically fire his two lead attorneys so he can request extra time from his favorite judge? No, it was nothing like that. They walked off. And He's just he's one of those vindictive people. When you quit, what he said to them, he didn't plan on paying him anyway. So there you go. Oh, Trader Joe's has a purple yam ice cream. Oh, I look forward to trying that. That sounds delicious. All right, TR is nervous about Miami and nervous about Tuesday and Judge Cannon. I think when I went into this energy that it looked like what she was doing was predominantly it was just like just formal. It was like a formal stuff she would be doing. But let's see if Eileen. It's nothing's going to help this guy. That's what people have to realize. What's she going to do when a guy is facing 536 counts and they haven't even seized the electronics yet? You all know what's coming. Who's going to save him? Maybe we can get him a public defendant because nobody will work with him. He doesn't pay his workers. Judge Eileen Cannon. She can't take the case. She's been advised to recuse herself, and she will. She will not take this case. She's also extremely angry. She says that I think she's starting to feel mad I think she feels like she wasted enough time trying to help this guy. It's like she's trying to get her dignity back. She recuses herself from the case. She's got someone opposing her. That's probably the Justice Department. She's claiming confusion. How many times we get the 7 of Cups over the Trump people? They truly believed it was a witch hunt. Look at that, 7 of Cups. Final outcome for her, the Queen of Wands. So she emerges as the Queen of Wands. But she's going to try, and she will not take this case. You couldn't beg her to take this case at this point. She would rather not. No, it's not going to happen. You couldn't pay me to take. This is a hot potato I won't touch. That's what she's saying. Nope. The feds, this is Garland. Strong case. Hopes and fears. I was duped, confused. I could face some kind of restriction, red tape, loss of license. I don't know. Can be a paper restraint, right? Final outcome, trying to get her strength back. And look at this again. Nope. 5 of Swords. She will not take this case. There's nothing in those cards that would lead me to think that that woman wants anything to do with this. Yeah. Oh, the Ron Paul getting beat up. I think it's just because he's annoying. Evidently, a few people have beaten him up. I don't know, but evidently he had a fight with his neighbor. But I think it was just a regular spat. I mean, a lot of these people are having issues. I mean, look at what's going on with Boebert's husband and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's a lot of crazy behavior in there with their neighbors and neighborhoods. All right, and let's see here. Okay, so we got to the K-Travel Tarot, and other people had asked the question about the... So this is one about from Pam Sykes about the redistricting. As you know, much to our surprise, Kavanaugh ruled that they had been unfair to Black voters in Alabama. So the question is, will we see more of these types of suits from voters challenging states go to the Supreme Court? Let's take a look. And what will be the result? The result will be in favor of the plaintiff. So if there is a suit against the state for discrimination against voters for whatever reason, the plaintiff will win against the state. It's a karmic wheel that is being corrected. Karma, the Dharma wheel. The opposition is finished. We get our wish, and we are shown mercy by the courts, fairness. Also, there's now a precedent with the previous ruling. Good question, by the way. Thank you, Pam. Okay, we're going to do one more question about the GOP in Oklahoma. And I want to thank you all for coming today. It was a most enjoyable brunch. I hope you all enjoyed your snacks and your teas and coffee and crumpets or anything else you had during this brunch. And I also hope you enjoyed spending your brunch with me. Oklahoma. It's a lot of money that's going to be poured into Oklahoma for wind farms and the new green economy. It's going to hit really hard, all of this new green economy, and we could be seeing Oklahoma being a state that loves the green economy overnight and completely changes its opinion about the green economy because of the amount of work that's going to be supplied specifically to Oklahoma, wind farms, etc. And it translates into making Oklahoma in the future a very wealthy state. We see the Ace of Pentacles over Oklahoma. Issues before of poverty, Four of Pentacles. It was always a poor state. We have healing coming from the government, and we have the sun coming out for Oklahoma. So a lot of what Oklahoma went through was just the struggles of, poverty, etc. But what we have with the new green economy is we have more rain. Rains would possibly be increasing in Oklahoma, as well as huge economic benefits to Oklahoma in terms of future government contracts as part of the new green economy. We see tremendous healing over Oklahoma in the coming years. Look at that. Fantastic cards for Oklahoma. So don't worry. So if you're worried about the GOP, because there's no law. Don't focus on red and blue. Focus on the green, because the only economy left is the green economy. All right. Thank you, everyone, for a most enjoyable brunch. If you need to have a reading with me, if you need me to pick up the phone and call you on the phone and give you a reading, I would love to be the person to give that reading to you. You can do that by booking through Booksy, and the Booksy link is below. You book it, and I call you at the specific time. But understand that I am in Portland, so if you book an appointment for 4 p.m., that is the Portland Standard Time. So you'll book it for 4, but if you're in New York, I'll be calling you at 7 p.m. So always add 3 hours if you're on the East Coast. If you want a pre-taped reading, it usually takes me about a week to get through all my taped readings. So it takes about a week. It's a 5-minute reading. I think they cost $30. Excuse me. Through Wizio. And that is, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, something's doing me in. Through Wizio. Is there anything else I have to announce? Oh, if you need to see me as a doctor, also through Wizio. And I hope you all have a great day. Hi, Mark Rhodes. If I didn't get a chance to say hi to you, thank you, Tatty Gem, for the $20 donation to American Forest. Thank you, Debbie Brady, for your help today. Thank you, Joel Tilson. Thank you, Philerin Bungalin. Great to see you. Geocosmic Valentine, always great. Karen W., awesome to see you as well. Giovanni D. Domenicis has donated $5 to American Forest. 5 babies to you. Congratulations. And I think that's it. Final question. Somebody had asked about the IRS. Yes, they're going in with laptops, and the IRS is going in. That's the next phase. Steps 2 and 3 will be laptops, spying, security, and then right behind their heels will be the IRS. That's pretty much the trajectory you should expect. All right. Bye, everyone. We'll see you later. Be well. Thank you, everyone.